Turn this on. Let it keep playing.
Know my purpose. I know why I'm here. God's got a plan for me. It's got to be fulfilled. I know my purpose. I know why I'm here. God's got a plan for me. It's got to be fulfilled. I am here.
Where my phone at?
I'm here.
I need a password that's gonna come on it.
I am here. I'm here. I am
Password.
here.
495
495
589
589 58.
I'm here.
It's on the 6 digits.
It was G.
I know my purpose. I know why I'm here. God's got a plan for me that's got to be fulfilled. I know my purpose. I know why I'm here. God's got a plan for me that's got to be fulfilled. I am here. I'm here. 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 got to be fulfilled. I know my purpose. I know why I'm here. God's got a plan for me.
Can you hear me on YouTube?
It's got to be fulfilled. I am here. I'm here. I am here. I'm here.
Is YouTube on? I mean, Facebook on? Facebook on?
I'm here.
Say something.
I am here.
Um,
Here.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Facebook Live. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Breaking Strongholds Ministries in Orlando, keeping it simple. How you all doing this morning? Happy Sabbath day, happy Sabbath day. This is the day that the Most High have made, so let us be glad and rejoice in this. I hope your week was good this week. I hope everything that you wanted, the Most High gave it to you. I hope that He gave you everything that your heart desired and you asked for it in His name. So, I just like to say that again. My week was pretty interesting. Even though some of y'all may or may not care, but my week was pretty interesting. You know, the Most High gave His revelations to me about brotherly love, and that's why I'm be talking about brotherly love and sisterly love this week, today. And you know, we have to think about that. We have to really think about that. Really have to think about what's actually going on in the world today. We really had to think about that and things of that nature. But let us go ahead and get started this morning with the text. I'll be coming out of the book of Exodus, or Shemot, Exodus chapter 20, verse 1 through 17. And it reads, And El spake all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah thy El, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, and thou shalt have no other gods before me, or Els before me. And thou shalt not make unto thee any graving or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah thy El, am a jealous El, a God visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahuwah thy El in vain, for the Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day, and keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy works. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah thy El. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy sons, nor thy daughters, nor manservants, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy strangers that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahuwah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy fathers and thy mother, that thy days be long upon the land which Yahuwah thy El giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. That is what we read every Shabbat. And let us do the prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine to your kingdom, power to your glory forever and ever. So let it be. So let it be. Like I say, good morning, Breaking Strongholds Ministries, good morning, Facebook Live, and YouTube as well, Orlando, keeping it simple. I hope everything went well with you this week. I hope everything is going good. I hope that you are abiding by the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's why in Facebook Live, that's why I read Exodus chapter 20, is because we got to continue to do the law, statutes, and commandment that is in Exodus chapter 20. So now, I be coming out of the gospel this morning of 1 John chapter 4. The Gospel of John, 1 John chapter 4. 1 John chapter 4. I will read verse 11 through 20, 21, but the key verse will be verse 20. That's my birthday, April the 20th. And that will be reading 1 John chapter 4 verse 20 as the key verse. Because I do think we need to understand that in this day and time. Okay? And also it says, and beloved, if God so loved us, we ought also to love one another. Hear that. No man has seen God at any time. If we love one another, God dwells in us, and his love is perfect in us. Whereby know we that we dwell in him and he in us, because he has given us of his Spirit. Understand that. Whereby know we that we dwell in him and he in us, because he has given us of his Spirit. That means that his Spirit is in us because he dwells, and that is the reason why he dwells in us, because his Spirit is in us. Verse 14, it says, we have seen and do testify that the Father sent the Son to be the Savior of the world. Whosoever shall confess that Jesus, or Yahshua the HaMashiach, is the Son of God, God dwells in him and he in God. We have known and believed the love that God has to us. God is love, and he that dwells in love dwells in God, and God in him, wherein our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. Perfect love casts out fear, because fear has torments. He that fears is not made perfect in love. We love him because he first loved us. Because he first loved us. We love him because he first loved us. And the key verse, if a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he has seen, how can he love God or El whom he has not seen? And this commandments have we from him, that he whom loveth God love his brother also. So if I may give a title of the text this morning, the title of the text this morning is, Do Black Lives Matter? The title of the text this morning is, Do Black Lives Matter? And the words I have this morning is character. Character. One is character. Character is a 14th century CE word, Common Era word, defining qualities, individual features, sum of qualities that define a person or thing and distinguish it from another. Moral qualities assigned to a person by repute, by his actions. Your qualities or your character is defined by your actions. Your qualities or your character is defined by your actions. The word hate is an old English word. Means spite, envy, malice, and hostilities. It's an old English word, hate, which it means spite, envy, malice, and hostility. Okay? So when we start to look at the book of 1 John, 1 John is basically talking about fellowship with the Most High. He's basically talking about fellowshipping with the Most High. He's trying to make sure that we understand what we need to do in order to be able to have fellowship with the Most High. And also with our brothers and sisters upon the land. This is the same writer that wrote the Revelations and also wrote the Saint John, the John after Acts. So when we're looking at the Gospel of John in the book of Revelation, this is the same author. He's talking about making sure we have fellowship. Fellowship is communion, means partnership. It means togetherness. It means that he wanting us to be able to understand how we should live between our brothers and sisters. Meaning, because if we have a great connection with the Most High God, that means that we should have a great connection with our brothers and sisters on the earth. That's why it's basically, in this text here, is basically talking about character. Your character, and also your character is an action. Character is a verb. It means of actions. It means what you do and how you display yourself, how people see you, and they're gonna see you through your actions or your behavior, and that's when they can be able to define whether you love or hate somebody, whether you agree or disagree. In chapter 1, verse 3, it says, "That which we have seen and heard declare we unto you, that ye also may have fellowship with us." He's asking us to have fellowship with him as well as have fellowship with the Most High. It says, "Truly our fellowship is with the Father and with his Son, Yeshua, or Jesus the Christ, or Yeshua the HaMashiach." Fellowship means partnership, means union. It means brotherhood. It means sisterhood. That's what fellowship means. In verse 1 it says, "These things write we unto you, that your joy may be full." Full means happiness, means success. Your fullness comes when you have fellowship with your brothers and sisters. Okay, amen. So let us go back to let us go to the chapter 4, and I want us to start to deal with chapter 4, verse 20. I want to deal with that because it also reads. I'm reading the commentary. It says, F.B. Myers. It says, "If we are willing to be channeled through which God loves flows to others." It says, if we are willing to be channels channels through which God's love flows to others. There need to be no limit to the fullness of that holy current. In humility and selflessness and gentleness, it will become perfect. The vessel placed beneath the waterfall is filled with to overflowing. Meaning that if we say we love God, His actions or His word will flow through us to other people. If we say we love the Most High, that means that we're going to do His commandments, because if He said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. So by us showing us we love the Most High, we're going to keep His commandments. So if we're going to keep His commandments, how are we going to show the Most High we love Him? We also going to treat our brothers and sisters as our neighbors. Love thy neighbor as thyself. So that means that you also going to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Because how you see yourself is how you treat other people. Okay? But I would like everybody that's listening to me on Facebook, please go to my YouTube channel. Not please. I'm not going to beg you. I'm just asking you. Everybody that's listening to me on Facebook, go to my YouTube channel. It's called Orlando Keeping It Simple. Orlando Keeping It Simple. I'm going to ask you to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So that I could be able to get my subscriptions up, so that I could be able to get my likes up, so that we can move forward on it. But I want us to understand something. How we say we love the Most High is how we treat our brothers and sisters, because how we treat our brothers and sisters is how we treat ourselves. If we love ourselves, we're going to treat our brothers and sisters the same way we treat us. But let us dive in and deal with 1 John chapter 4 verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a lie. He is a liar. That TH on the end of hate, that is an action word. That is an action word. So when we understand that hateth is an ongoing, like ing, hating his brother, he is a liar. For he that loving is not his brother whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he has not seen? Okay? And I want to deal with the word hate. Like I said, the word hate is spite, envy, malice, and hostilities. And the reason why I say that, you first have to understand that the word hate. And look at our current conditions today. Look at our current conditions today. Look how everything has taken place. Look how what's going on in society today. How can anybody say that they love God but hate their brother? And hate is spite, envy, malice, and hostilities. Okay? So I want to deal with some characters or some characters of how you can see hate in the Bible. How can you see hate in the Holy Scriptures? Let's go to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis. Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4. Verse 1 through 7. Or 1 through 9. Genesis chapter 4. Verse 1 through... Genesis chapter 4. Verse 1 through 7. And it reads, And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. and she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep. Understand the characteristics. But Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruits of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flocks and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offerings. When we're looking at these two brothers here, we're looking at two different types of brothers with two different types of characters and mannerisms. We're looking at Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel. The mannerisms and the attitude. I want to say the attitude of Abel and the attitude of Cain. On how they do their jobs. On how they want to spend their time, their energy, their commitment to the Most High. Both of these two guys, these two guys' characters and attitudes are totally different. It says in verse 3 again, it says, and in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruits of the ground an offering unto the Lord. It didn't say what type of fruits. It didn't say nothing. It just said he just brought the Most High something. Okay? Then it says in verse 4, and Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his fruits and of the fatness thereof. The firstlings of the flock. That means the best of his flock. And of the fatness thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offerings. See, Cain's attitude towards the Most High, towards his purpose, or towards his time and energy into his profession or his career. Cain's attitude was totally different than Abel's attitude. Cain's attitude was totally different than Abel's attitude. Abel's attitude was the firstling of his flock and of the fat thereof. So when you understand that Cain's attitude and Abel's attitude is totally different, Cain wanted to just give the Most High anything. Abel wanted to give the Most High the best that he could. So when we're looking at this, sometimes people want to give a half-done job but expect the greatest reward. People don't want to put time and energy and commitment in something but expect a good reward. But how can you put your time and how can you not give your best to something but expect the best result? But then start to hate on the brothers and sisters who put their time and their whole body, their whole time and their whole energy in committed to something, and they receive. How can you hate on them for their actions and compare it to your actions when you know you're only giving 25% of whatever you got to the Most High, but everybody else is giving 75 to 90 to 100% to the Most High? How can you expect the same reward that they have when you're not even giving the same commitment, the same offering, the same time, and the same energy? How can you expect the same reward? You can't. But your attitude is, I deserve the same thing. But your attitude is, I deserve the same thing. Cain's attitude was that I deserve the same thing Abel get. I'm giving you something. At least be glad that I gave you what I gave you. But the Most High is like, no. You're not just going to give me anything. So Cain get mad with Abel because the reward is different. Let's go down to verse 5. Let's go down to verse 5, and it says, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, means angry, jealous, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou angry? And why is it thy countenance has fallen? He said, your whole appearance has failed. Everything about you has went down. Why? When you only giving me a half-ass job, a half-butt job, why are you so disappointed? And what are you receiving? Because you're not giving me your best. But you're giving me what you want to give me, but you're expecting more. That don't work. So that means that Cain got mad with Abel because of the offerings. Because the time and the energy that Abel was giving the Most High, and the time and the energy that he was given. So let's look what happened. Listen to what the Most High said. Listen, if thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? He said, if you do good, if you give me more time and energy, don't you think you will prosper? If you put the energy, if you be committed, if you give me the time, if you be obedient, don't you think you'll be successful? Don't you think you'll be accepted? If thou does not well, sin lieth at the door. See, when we look at these little young rappers that have passed away in the last couple of weeks, the guys that killed them didn't probably put the time, nor the energy, or the commitment, or the studying, or to whatever they needed to do to be successful in the quote-unquote rap game. The guys who are successful in that rap game and who was successful, they probably put the time, the energy, the commitment into it. It's like, how can you not put time and energy in something but expect something totally different? You cannot. If you don't read and study the Most High, you cannot be wanting the same reward as somebody who put time and energy into it. Okay? So now let's see what happened when you have somebody whose attitude is jacked up because they feel like they can just give a half-butt job to something but expect the same results as the person who give a lot of time and energy. Verse 8, it says, and Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against his brother and slew him. Slew him. And Yahuwah said unto Cain, where is thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? At that point here, Cain was telling the Most High, man, I don't care nothing about Abel. When you have the mentality of wanting to kill your brothers and sisters, because the simple fact is they're doing a better job than you because you decided not to give the time and energy and effort into something, it says a lot about you as a person. Your attitude, your mentality is jacked up. Everything about you at that point in time is no good. Everything about you is no good. When you want to be able to kill somebody because they are putting time and effort and energy into whatever their craft is, and you decide not to put time and energy into your craft but you're expecting the same results, something wrong with you mentally. Something wrong with you mentally. Let's go to Numbers. Numbers. That's one. Your attitude, Cain's attitude was jacked up. Because he was jealous because of Abel's effort into doing something compared to his. Let's go to Numbers 18, 12. And YouTube, I'm going to say this to you. If this video does not do well, I'm going to erase this one and upload the one that we're using as a recorder today.
They already cut you.
Huh?
They already cut you.
They already cut me. Okay. So Numbers 18 and 12. 18 and 12. See, when you're doing something for the Most High, maybe I have too many devices on. When you're doing something for the Most High, you got to give your best.
It's still on.
Huh?
It's still on. It's just playing with you.
When you giving your best, when you're doing something for the Most High, you got to give your best. You got to give your best. You got to give your best. It says, all the best of the oils and all the best of the wine and of the wheat and of the first fruits of them which they shall offer unto the Lord or unto Yahuwah, them have I given thee. See, when you're doing something for the Most High, you got to give your best. You can't give him a half-done job but expecting a great reward from it, because it don't really work. Your mentality, your ideas, your thought process is jacked up. Your thought process is jacked up. You can't do that. And so Cain was upset because he didn't give his best, but he wanted the best reward. The reason why some guys on YouTube got so many viewers or so many subscribers is because they're putting the effort in. The reason why some don't is because they ain't putting the effort in. Some of you subscribers on here for 4 or 5 hours every day preaching the word. So they're going to have a lot of subscribers. Some YouTube people on here for 1 or 2 hours every other week. But they don't have many subscribers, but expecting a lot of subscribers. That don't work. So your attitude has to change about your gift or your craft. In order to, it says in Proverbs 18 and 16. In Proverbs 18 and 16 it says, a man's gift maketh room for him, and bringing him before great men. So Cain had a gift of being a tiller of the ground, but he did not use it to the best of his abilities. So how can he expect the best reward? Cain gave his best and did his best. So he is going to receive the best reward. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 22. Okay, and it reads, Exodus chapter 22, verse 29. Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits and of thy liquor. The firstborn of thy son shalt thou give unto me. What the Most High is saying, you're going to give me your best. You're going to give me the first of everything. That's the attitude that you have to have. You got to give him the best of everything in order to be able to receive the rewards that you need. And if you don't, you won't. If you don't give him your best, you can't receive the reward that you're supposed to have. You can't receive it. I'm trying to do something. Because I'm finna turn off some of these things I got on. I'm gonna see if it'll help my face, help that YouTube thing. Let's go back. Now let us go to let us also go to Genesis. Those three things we're talking about. The attitude. The attitude of Cain's craft, the attitude of Cain's job, the attitude of his offerings to the Most High was jacked up. But he expected a great reward from it. But he expected a reward, the same reward that Abel was going to get. And that can't happen. He can't get the same reward that Abel. Because he didn't give the best of his time and energy and his effort into something. So if he didn't do it, he can't get it. So what did he do? He wound up killing them. And that's what our brothers do today. Our brothers wind up killing another brother because they got something somebody else don't have. Because they didn't put in the same effort that they did. But then they get mad because this brother's blessed and they ain't. But then they want to go rob and kill him and shoot him. But then be mad about it, saying they're mad at the dude. Young Dolph or whatever the guy name is, a Slim 400, just got killed. All these guys got killed by their own brothers. Their own brothers killed them. Because one probably had something that the other one didn't. But the one who probably killed them probably didn't put in the same time and energy and effort into their craft like them other guys did. So they got mad with that dude and killed him. That means that their attitude was jacked up. Their thought process was jacked up. That's why the title of the text today is, do black lives really matter? Because if black lives really matter, will we want to kill somebody because we're not doing something they're doing? Even though we're not putting in the time and energy and effort into it? No. We'll realize something wrong with us. We got to do better with ourselves in order for us to get what we want. So now, let us go to Genesis chapter 25. Genesis chapter 25. Brothers not just kill other brothers and sisters as well. Does not just kill other brothers and sisters because of their attitude. they also kill them because of the position and the authority that one has and the other one don't. Everybody wants to be the man. Everybody want to floss. Everybody wants to be on top. Everybody want to be called the man. Or everybody want to be this or that person. That's what everybody want to be. Everybody want to have a position of authority. So, because one person has a position and an authority and the other person don't, the person who don't is willing to do whatever he got to do to get the position that that person has. That's ruling out. I don't care if he is your brother or sister. Cain just showed you, I kill you because of what you got and what I don't have. Okay? It also would be chaos because of position of authority. In Genesis chapter 25, verse 22 and 23, it says, and the children struggled together within her. Talking about Cain and Abel. Not Cain and Abel, but Esau and Jacob. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahuwah. Listen, because she was going through some problems in her stomach. She having some problems, some issues, some struggles. Rebecca was having some struggles in her stomach because two nations were struggling for position of authority. And the Lord said unto her, and Yahuwah said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one person shall be stronger than the other person, the other people, and the elder shall rule the younger. They was fighting for position of power. That means that Esau and Jacob hated each other from the very beginning. Because one wanted to be in power and the other one didn't want him to be in power. They was fighting from the very beginning. From the very, very beginning. They was fighting. They was struggling. Now let me read you the character of Esau. And this is coming out of the book of Jasher. Chapter 26, verse 17. It says, and the boys grew up their 15 years. And the boys grew up to their 15th year. And they came amongst the society of men. Esau was a designing and deceitful man, and an expert hunter in the field. And Jacob was a man perfect and wise, dwelled in the tents, feeding flocks and learning the instructions of the Lord and the commands of his fathers and mothers. Both of them had some things going on. Both of them had some things going on. That is the character of Esau. That is the character of Jacob. You have a physical Esau and you have a spiritual Jacob. Okay? Now, I'm gonna stay in the book of Jasher. In chapter, let me just go to chapter 26 and let me see if I can find it. 27. We're talking about positions. Hold on, let me go back. We're talking about positions of authority. The internet is going very slow, so forgive us. Okay, so we're talking about positions. They was fighting in the wombs. When you go down to verse 26 in Genesis chapter 25, and it reads, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. They was fighting, seeing who was going to come out first. And Esau came out first, but Jacob's hand was on Esau's heels. That means that Esau would be the ruler, supposed to be the ruler at first. Supposed to be the ruler after Isaac. Supposed to be the ruler after Isaac. But Esau's characteristic was a deceitful person. So the Most High was not going to allow Esau to be the heirs of Isaac. The Most High was not going to allow Esau to be the heir of Isaac. That's why he put Jacob in the position that he put Jacob in. But they was fighting for position of power. You get what you understand what I said? That's why it shows you the symbolisms of Jacob coming out of the womb holding Esau's heel. That means that he will be the next person in charge. And when you go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, 7, 8, and 9. And it reads, Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. But by me also they shall be in, and by none other. Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting as under of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau was born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heels of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, which is the position, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. That means that Jacob will be ruling in an authoritarian position after Esau. Brothers be hating on the brothers because of the positions, and after that point, Esau and Jacob has never got along. They have always been fighting for position of power. They have always been fighting for a position of power. And fighting for a position of power means that somebody got to hate the other. Somebody got to hate the other. Let's go to Genesis. Genesis chapter 37. One through 7. 1 through 7. Genesis chapter 37, 1 through 7. And it reads, And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flocks with his brethren. And the lad was with the sons of Baal, and with the sons of Zephyr, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peacefully unto him. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brothers. And he told it his brothers, and they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we are binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves stood around about, and made obedience to my sheaf. Joseph's brothers them hated Joseph because the position that Joseph was going to have. They hated him because he had on a cloth that had many colors, which represented authority. Joseph's brothers hated him because he was the appointed one, and he was going to be in control and authority. Joseph's brothers them hated him because of that. Yeah, also if you go back, it says, in verse 2, it says, these are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flocks with his brethren. And the lad was with the sons of Baal and with the sons of Zephyr, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Joseph was in authority at the time of watching over his brothers, even at the beginning. And the brothers didn't like it. So we have always had strife between the men. We have always had strife. That's why I asked the question, do black lives really matter? Because if it did, we would not be having strife in these situations. You would accept the person for what they're doing and move forward. You will respect them because the Most High have anointed them with a special gift that He didn't anoint you with, because you got something that they don't have. And you'll move forward in your gifts, and He'll move forward in His. But now everybody want to do what everybody's doing, and you bring in chaos and confusion. Joseph's brothers them got mad with him. They wanted to kill him, but they just sold him off. See, Ham, or the Hamites, sold Shem into slavery. See, hatreds between brothers have been stemming for a long time. And they're not just brothers and sisters too. It's been stemming for a long time. A woman will hate another woman because the simple fact is one woman got a greater hair than the other woman. A woman will hate another woman because she's more brighter, or lighter, or darker, or bigger butt than no butt, whatever the case may be. We have had this mixing for a hatred for a long time. And it's all, the second point is the character of authority. You want to have a character of authority. Everybody ain't made to be a leader. You have some people that's just made to be a follower, a server. And you have some people that made to be a leader. Everybody's not designed the same way. That's why Paul talks about the spiritual gifts. But it's also some physical gifts. Everybody's not made to be a teacher. Everybody ain't made to be a preacher. Everybody ain't made to be a police officer. Everybody's not made to be a construction worker. Everybody ain't made to be a football player. Everybody have different talents. And when you decide to walk in your talent or your gift, you'll be able to love your brother even more. But when you start to step outside your talent and your gift, that's when the hate starts. Esau and Jacob were fighting for position of authority in the womb. Esau and Jacob were fighting for position of authority in the womb. Esau and Jacob has been fighting throughout the time. Joseph's brother hated Esau. Joseph's brothers hated him because he had a dream of his position that would be coming up. It was a position of authority. Esau would be the end of the world, and Jacob would be the beginning of the new world. Positions of authority. And Esau has been trying to kill off Jacob for a long time because of this. Because of this. The third character is assistance. When I ask you, do Black Lives Matter? Do it really matter? Because is your attitude towards black people good? Is your attitude towards the position of authority of black people, is it good? Is your position of wanting to help black people good? Because that's the next one. Esau never wanted to help Jacob when he was coming out of his problem. Let's go to Numbers chapter 20. Numbers chapter 20. Numbers chapter 20. Verse 14 through 21. And it reads, and Moses sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom. Moses is from the tribe of Israel, which is Jacob. Edom is Esau, and he's from the tribe. He's from Isaac. Okay? They're brothers because of Isaac. Thus said thy brother Israel. Listen how Moses is addressing Edom or Esau. Thus said thy brother Israel, thou knowest all the problems that has befallen us. How our father went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time. And the Egyptians vexed us, and our fathers. It says, when we cried unto the Lord, he heard our voice, and he sent an angel, and he has brought us forth out of Egypt. And behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy borders. Moses is telling Edom, he said, listen man, we just left slavery, and we've been there for a long time. We're on our way to Canaan, but I need to make a pit stop. We're on our way to do something, but I need your help. Moses sent this letter to Esau because Moses was asking for Esau's help. Moses was asking Esau to assist him in doing something. Okay? And it says in verse 17, it says, this is what Moses was asking for. Listen to what Moses asked for. It says, let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards. Neither will we drink of the water of the wells. We will go by thy king's highways. We will not turn to the right or the left until we have passed thy borders. Moses said, let me just use your roads to walk through your land. I won't ask for nothing. I won't do nothing. I won't go right nor left. Let me just go through the land on your roads. Now listen to what Esau said. They're supposed to be brothers now. Listen to what Esau said. And Edom said unto him, thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword. He said, you can't use my land, you can't use nothing of me. And if you do decide to do it, I kill you. That sounds like some of the people we know. A brother will see you in need of help or something, will not even desire to help you. But he called himself an Israelite. But he called himself a brother of Christ. But won't even raise his hand to help you. So do black lives really matter? When you're not doing nothing to support your brother in any way? Do black lives really matter? To the people who just kill these rappers? Do black lives matter to these people who kill King? Do black lives really matter to those people who killed Malcolm? Do the black lives matter for those people who turned on Marcus Garvey? Do black lives matter to the people who backstabbing you right to this day? No, because their attitude is not with you. They want to have position over you. And they're not willing to help you in any way, shape, fashion, or form. So how can you say black lives matter when you got your own brothers going against you in every aspect of your life? Verse 19 in Numbers. He says, and the children of Israel said unto him, we will go by the highways. If I and my cattle drink of thy waters, then I will pay for it. Moshe was just asking, said, man, let me just go by. And if I do anything wrong, I pay for it. If I do anything wrong, I give you money for it. Whatever I do, I will give you the money whatever I did for it. He said, I will only, without do any of these things, go through on my feet. He said, the only thing I want to do is just go through on my feet. I ain't trying to do nothing else. But Esau didn't want to hear it. And he said, thou shalt not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with a strong hand. How many camps out there today are going against camps? If you ain't IUIC, you ain't this. Or if you ain't GOCC, you ain't that. If you ain't thinking the way I want you to think, you ain't this. And if you ain't thinking the way I want you to think, you ain't that. Camps are not even willing to work together on one common issue. Camps are not even willing to come together and say, well, let's get the heads of the camps together and let's come with one common cause. Let's get the camps together and let's say, this is what our agenda is, this is what our purpose is. Well, you do it this way here, you do it this way here, but we're going to come together once a month, every 3 or 4 months and meet up and make sure that the agenda is right. But the camps are not even together. The churches ain't even together. They bashing each other on YouTube. But you say you love the Most High, but you hate your brother who you see every day, but you love God who you ain't never seen. But you're not even willing to work with your brother. You're not even willing to work with him. But you really want to backbite and dog him out behind his back and not meet with him and come up with a common goal. And it says, in verse 21, it says, thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his brother. Wherefore Israel turned away from him. See, when you're not willing to help your brothers, it make y'all separated. It make you draw distance. It make you not come together as one. He said, when 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I'm in the presence. But when you divide it, he's not nowhere near it. Do you really think the Most High is in the Hebrew movement today? He might be on an individual level, but on a collective level, how can we say that the Most High is in the midst of it when we haven't came together on one common issue? The only issue we have come up, oh, we the people, we the people, we the people. But what have we done as the people? Have we said, let's get together and commonly buy some land? Have we came together and said, well, let us get a curriculum? Have we did any of those things? No, but everybody divided doing their own thing, but expected for the Most High to be in the midst of it. That don't work that way. Because it says in verse 21, it says, wherefore Israel turned away from him. When you can't come together on anything, it brings division. Go to 2 Kings. (24). See, Esau didn't want to give no assistance by just letting us pass through. Esau didn't even want us to help us fight when we was going against Nebuchadnezzar. Actually, Esau was on the same team as Nebuchadnezzar as we was fighting. As we were going against Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonian Empire, Esau was right along with Nebuchadnezzar. He didn't know, even though we was brothers, Esau didn't care nothing about us. In 2 Kings 24:10-11, it reads, and at that time the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, came up against Jerusalem. The city was besieged, and Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came against the city, and his servants did besiege it. Then Jehoiachin, the king of Judah, went out to the king of Babylon, he and his mother and his servants and his princes, his officers, and the king of Babylon took him in the 8th year of reign. It says the king of Babylon took Jehoiachin in the 8th year of reign as a prisoner. And he carried out thence all the treasures of the house of the Lord, or Yahuwah, and the treasures of the king's house, and cut in pieces all the vessels of gold which Solomon king of Israel had made in the temple of the Lord, as the king had said. And he carried away all Jerusalem and all the princes and all the mighty of valor, even 10,000 captives, and all the craftsmen and smiths. None remained save the poor sort of people of the land. And he carried away Jehoiachin to Babylon, the king mother, and the king wives, and his officers, and the mighty of the land. Those he carried into captivity. Those carried he into captivity from Jerusalem to Babylon. Edom was standing right there to watch all this happen. Edom was standing there right there to watch all that happen. Edom was watching it the whole time. Edom was watching the whole time. My brother, I can never imagine my physical brother standing there watching me get beat up by my enemies and he don't do nothing. but we see it every day in the streets. We see it every day in the streets. We'll see videos. We'll put videos up of women fighting against women as entertainment. We'll put videos of brothers fighting against brothers as entertainment. But when another brother got to fight against somebody else, that brother will not support him. That sister will not support her sister. But we expecting something major to happen when we don't even support each other. And I'm finna even get it's even that way within the tribes. You hear a lot of brothers say the Latinos, the Jamaicans, and the American, the blacks in America all related. But I never seen a Jamaican go to an African American or soul food restaurant to eat. I never seen a Puerto Rican or Hispanic go to an African American restaurant and eat. I ain't never went to see them eat soul food. I ain't never seen them patronize a black restaurant. I ain't never seen no islanders patronize a black restaurant. But we all came from the same lineage. But I see blacks in America patronize everybody else's restaurant. But I have never seen any of those nationalities or any of the other tribes patronize our restaurants. Patronize our business. I have never seen them call us to do work for them. But we call them to do work for us. But we call them brothers, but I never heard them call us brothers. So do black lives really matter? I got a Puerto Rican friend. I got Mexican people who I talk to, Hispanic people who I talk to all the time. But they ain't never said, man, I'm gonna eat some of your food. Or let me do this with you, or let me do that with you. But I'm trying to do something with them. Never seen it. But we supposed to be from the same tribe. We all get treated the same way, but we still have division within the tribe. Light-skinned Latinos don't even see the same as dark-skinned Latinos. But we supposed to be from the same tribe, but do black lives really matter? In Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10 through 12, it says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Who is Jacob's brother? Esau. Esau was violent towards Jacob. Esau was violent towards Jacob. It says, in the day that thou in the day that thou stood on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them. That just go back to what I just read in 2 Kings. Jacob was with the Babylonian Empire to siege on Jerusalem. But Esau supposed to be my brother. But he fight with my enemies. See, a lot of people see you as an enemy and not as a friend, even though they're your brother. Even though they see you, even though they're your brothers, they see you as their enemies and not as your friend. And this and the reason says, but thou should not have looked on the days of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. Neither should thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. See, your brothers and your relatives, they laugh at your downfall. They don't want to help you. They see you sick. They see you broke, busted, and disgusted. And don't even want to help you. Esau didn't let Judah pass through to go to the land of Canaan. Esau didn't even want to help Judah fight the Babylonian Empire. Esau decided to fight with the Babylonian Empire against Judah. He didn't want to do nothing. He was rejoicing because of your fall. Psalms 50. And 18. It says, when thou saw a thief, then thou consented with him, and has been partakers with the adulterers. See, when we ask the question, do black lives really matter? How can we say black lives matter when our attitude towards our brother is jealousy? How can we say black lives really matter when we want to kill our brother because of the authority of a position that he has? How can we say black lives matter when we don't even want to help our brothers and sisters when in time of their need? How can we say black lives really matter? Or how can we even say we love God, but how can we say we even love God whom we never seen, but hate our brother who we see every day? How can we say that? How can the camp say they're really preaching the truth when they can't even come together? How can the churches even say they're one church? How can the Christian church say they're together when they have so many denominations? How can all this be? It can't. I had a brother. I call him. I ain't gonna do that. But one thing I've understood in 2020, right? I was reading this article about homicides in Chicago. It was 364 homicides in Chicago. And it was black on black crime. In 2020, 364 homicides, black on black crimes in Chicago. But if you ask those guys, do they love the Most High, they probably tell you, yeah, but they wind up killing. They're killing their own brothers and sisters. Since 1987 to 2021, there have been 75 rappers that died from homicide from black people. How can you say we love each other when we started killing each other? And I understand that because you're in close proximity with each other, that's the numbers. I understand that. But you have a black teenager dying every day in Chicago? That's not just in Chicago. That's not in New Orleans. That's not in California. That's not in Seattle. That's not in Houston and Dallas. That's not in Atlanta. That's not in Miami. How can you say you love God who you never seen, but you hate your brothers every day? You hate your brother because his offerings or his gifts is better than yours, because your attitude is jacked up and his ain't? You hate your brother because of the position that he have and because he's doing the best that he could do with what he have, and you want to half-ass do something, but you want the same reward that he get? So you go out there and kill them? How you can say Black Lives Matter when you don't even want to help your brother do nothing? It says, give and it shall be given unto you. So all these rappers that done, how can they say they love their brother when and their sisters and they call them B's and H's? And they just doing that to make money. Ask a young brother these days, do black lives really matter? Ask a young sister these days, do black lives really matter? You know what they're going to tell you? No. Because they don't even love themselves. So how can they love you when they don't love themselves? Hate is spiteful envy, malice, and hostility. Self is on or view of. Hate, self-hate, on and view of hostilities, malice, and envy towards your own self. And then how you treat yourself is how you treat other people. But you expect for other people to treat you different than how you treat yourself and how you treat them. It don't work. He says the second greatest commandment, he says, love thy neighbor as thyself. Oh, I guess we are loving our neighbor as ourselves because we got self-hate towards ourselves, so we're going to hate on our neighbors. So I'm going to conclude with the question. Do black lives really matter? You got 364 murders in Chicago alone. Since 1987, you had 75 black rappers get killed by homicide alone. Just 2 within the last 2 months. Within the last month. You got on YouTube and Facebook, that's all you see is black girls fighting against each other and young brothers fighting against each other. And Luke, I can't find it. It says the word, I can't find the scripture. It says, but father will be against son, daughter against mother, daughter against father, mother-in-law, and son against father-in-law. That's division. No love. Against mean hate. Go against. How can we have anything? How can we have Black Lives Matter when everybody going against everybody? We can't. So let me close out with a prayer. And I want us to understand something. How can we have anything if we're not showing love towards each other? That's what 1 John, the gospel of 1 John was about. Fellowshipping with the Most High. Fellowshipping with our brothers and sisters like we would fellowship with the Most High. That's what it's all about, because he said God is love. That's an action word. Love is an action word. How can we do it? That's what 1 John was all about. Fellowshipping with one another as we fellowship with Christ. That means that all camps should be on one accord. All churches should be on one accord. all Hebrew Israelites should be on one accord. There shouldn't be no strife on the internet. There shouldn't be no strife on YouTube. If we love our neighbor as ourselves. We wouldn't be no backbiting. We wouldn't be talking about each other. We